Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, let's talk some good old heavyweight boxing talk, because the heavyweight division is a glamour division. It's the glamour division in boxing, so we always got to keep our eyes peeled and in tune with what's going on in the heavyweight division. And what's going on in the heavyweight division right now is that they're talking about Joe Joyce. They're talking about Joseph Parker, soon to be finalizing a deal to fight each other on July 2nd out there at the Wembley Arena out there in the UK. Now, let me get my 2 cents on this fight, the implications of this fight, and what it could possibly lead to. So, Joseph Parker was a guy many years ago when he was a prospect heading into that contender stage. I was very high on. A lot of people were very high on Joseph Parker because he had really great hand speed. He puts his punches together as well as anybody in the division. He's a 6'3", 6'4" heavyweight, so he's not necessarily a big heavyweight, but still, he's a heavyweight. He's not a big heavyweight. He's maybe like an average size heavyweight, maybe even a little undersized, but had the skills at that time to where you thought, okay, maybe he could make the jump and beat some top guys in the division. That hasn't really happened. He even managed to lose to Dillian White because he's got out muscled and out physical around the ring, and he's kind of had the reputation of being a guy that is a very talented fighter, but a bit too much of a nice guy in that boxing ring. You can't be no nice guy in that boxing ring. You can be a nice guy outside the boxing ring, but when them lights come on and you step into the squared circle, you gotta be a killer. So now he's fighting Joe Joyce. He's on a 6-fight winning streak where he's beat guys like Derek Chisora twice. He beat Alexander Flores, the corpse of Alex Leopai. Not the most stellar run, to be honest with you. He beat what's the guy's name? Junior Fa in the big New Zealand super fight. So not the best winning streak, not the who's who of heavyweight boxing, but some solid okay heavyweights. This is really his fight that could potentially put him on the map. And now he's gonna be fighting a guy, if these contracts get finalized, and Joe Joyce, who has done a lot. I mean, he beat Brian Jennings at an early stage of his career. He derailed the Daniel Dubois hype train before it really got going. Beat Bermain Stavern, which is a solid little name. He's done some things. He hasn't done the greatest things, but he's done some things to where you say, okay, Joe Joyce is a threat in the heavyweight division. So I'm looking at it as two guys with a lot to prove. Joe Joyce kind of has that George Foreman type of jab to where it don't really look like he's throwing it hard, but it's very educated. And being that he's such a big and brolic man, he generates a lot of force behind that jab. He's able to, a lot of people say he's slow and all these things, which is true. He is very slow. I've seen Joe Joyce train in person. He's very, very slow. You're right about that. But he's also a very wide man as far as, his body type. He's also someone that has great stamina. He never gets tired in that ring. He can throw up to, 700 to 1,000 punches a fight. With an educated jab, it's non-stop pressure. He's got a granite chin. There's a lot of qualities that when you objectively look at Joe Joyce beyond just the speed or lack of speed, you can see there's a fighter in there that's a very big threat for anybody in the division. So I think this is going to be a great fight because Joseph Parker, the big knock on him is that he's very talented. He's got great hand speed, but he's not physically strong, nor is he willing to get in those trenches and be mean when he has to get mean. And this could be a big problem for him because Joe Joyce is going to take him to those deep, dark, uncomfortable places. And my thing is, when those times come for Joseph Parker, how does he react? How does he respond? How does he adjust? How does he get Joe Joyce to fight his type of fight? Because I'll tell you this, if Joseph Parker makes it a fight where it's about speed and countering counter-punching and speed, he's going to beat Joseph Parker if he can do that for 12 rounds. But if he catches Adrian Broner or Tevin Farmer syndrome and don't throw no punches, or don't throw the amount of punches he needs to throw to keep this guy off of him, it's going to be a very long and painful night for him. So it should be a good fight. But what also makes this fight intriguing is that, right now, as far as the WBC rankings are concerned, Joe Joyce is number 2, Parker is number 3, and then right there at number 1 is Deontay Wilder. So what you must know and what you must remember is that number 1 is Wilder. If Fury actually follows through at retirement and vacates that belt, which at this moment in time, at the time he's shooting this video, he hasn't. But if he does, the winner of this fight could be looking at a Deontay Wilder fight. So we might get to see Deontay Wilder versus Joe Joyce, which I think would be the most likely outcome if this all plays out. Or we might see a unification fight we should have got a long time ago when Joe Joyce was WBO champion if he beats Joe Joyce, and he can fight Wilder, you know. So if Wilder's gonna fight, because we don't even know if he's gonna fight, but if he's gonna fight, this would be probably the most likely scenario for him if Fury does retire and vacates the belt. So just a lot of moving pieces. Personally, for me, if Fury vacates, if the belt becomes vacant, and we look at this fight, I would personally like to see Deontay Wilder fight Joe Joyce, just because I think they're two of the most strong fighters in the division, but it's like in a different way. Like, obviously, we know Wilder's a hard puncher, but he's not very physically strong. And we know that Joe Joyce, he's not the one-punch knockout artist Deontay is, but he's got a granite chin, and he's very physically strong with an educated jab. So it makes that fight, to me, very intriguing. It's like, that fight to me would be like, which method of power is more effective? Is it better to be the one-punch knockout guy, or is it better to be the guy with the granite chin, be the guy with a really hard, educated jab, and be the guy that wears you down, you know, sustains it throughout the course of a fight? You know, that's how I look at that fight. But overall, that's the news. I hope I did a good job of summarizing all that for you guys. Right now, Joseph Parker, who's currently the number 3 WBC contender, is looking at finalizing a deal for his next fight with the number 2 WBC heavyweight contender in Joe Joyce. They're supposedly going to fight on July 2nd at Wembley Arena. The winner of that fight could fight Deontay Wilder next for the WBC heavyweight title if Tyson Fury vacates the belt. So a lot of moving pieces. I think if Fury retires, the division's going to go through a whole new phase again, but that's what it is. So you guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on True School Sports, the home of boxing. If you made it this far, do me a favor and do yourself a damn favor. Hit that subscribe button and surely you will not be disappointed. You know, True School Sports bringing you the latest and greatest, the untouchable, you know, boxing content, interviews, news videos, breakdowns, live fight reaction extravaganza. We've got a great community of people here, boxing fans all over the world, from America to the UK to Australia, and on and on and on. So join the empire today. Hit that subscribe button. Take care and God.